It started with a letter stuffed under my door. Not mailed, not stamped. Just slid under the threshold like some mafia shakedown note. Per Section 14B of Oakwood Estates HOA guidelines, it read, all homeowners must provide the association with a copy of their house keys, including garage and outbuildings, for compliance inspections and emergency access. I laughed out loud. My wife thought it was a prank. But the HOA wasn't joking. The next evening, Karen, yes, that Karen, the board president, showed up with her clipboard brigade. She wore her usual pastel sweater and condescending smirk. We'll need your garage key today, she announced. Failure to comply will result in fines and possible liens. Over my dead body, I said. Her eyes narrowed. Then we'll escalate. Now, I don't break laws. I don't deal drugs. But my garage, well, let's just say it isn't a place most people expect. I'm an engineer by trade and a tinkerer by obsession. Over the years I've built machines, some experimental, some borderline legal, all loud, sharp, and dangerous if you don't know what you're looking at. Plasma cutters, Tesla coils, a custom-built CNC rig taller than me, and a prototype energy storage unit that looks suspiciously like a missile. To me, it's a workshop. To an untrained eye, it's a supervillain's lair. So when Karen kept pushing, I decided to call her bluff. Fine, I said. You want to inspect my garage? Let's do it right now. Her smug smile grew. At last, some cooperation. We walked to the driveway. A few other board members tagged along, whispering behind their clipboards. I pulled the garage remote from my pocket, pressed the button, and the door rattled upward. The looks on their faces were priceless. The first thing they saw was the Tesla coil arcing harmlessly against a grounding rod, blue-white lightning snapping through the air. Next to it sat the energy unit, humming faintly, red LEDs blinking. My shelves were stacked with metal canisters, toolboxes labeled pressurized, and coils of thick wiring. Karen's jaw dropped. One of the clipboard guys gasped. This is a violation, she stammered. This is dangerous. Dangerous. I grinned. It's my workshop. Perfectly legal. Every tool's registered. Every machine's mine. Private property. Karen took 3 shaky steps back. Then, fumbling with her phone, she shrieked, I'm calling 911. This is a hazard. This man is building weapons. She actually did it. Right there in my driveway, she dialed and screamed at the operator that I had explosives and military equipment in my garage. By the time the cops arrived, half the neighborhood had gathered to gawk. Red and blue lights painted the street. Officers approached carefully, hands hovering near their holsters. Sir, one of them said, we need you to step away from the garage. I raised my hands, calm as could be. Officer, everything in there is legal. I'm an engineer. It looks scarier than it is. They went in cautious. 10 minutes later, they came out chuckling. One of them even whistled. That's some impressive equipment you've got. Nothing illegal here, folks. Karen's face turned crimson. But he's endangering us all. The officer shook his head. Ma'am, he's on his own property. Everything's up to code. And he hasn't broken a single law. You wasted emergency resources tonight. Don't do it again. The neighbors snickered. Someone muttered, classic Karen. The cops drove off, leaving Karen trembling with rage. She tried to rally the HOA at the next meeting, proposing a workshop ban. But the other board members, still embarrassed from looking like fools, voted her down. Now, whenever she walks past my house, she won't even glance toward the garage. The funny part? I left the door cracked open for a week straight, just enough for the humming and occasional spark to spill into the night. She never called again. Turns out, the best way to deal with HOA bullies is simple. Give them exactly what they ask for and let reality do the rest.